Hey everyone, welcome to the Sanctum. This is AL. Today we're talking the Akashic Tarot by Sharon Ann Klingler and Sandra Ann Taylor. You may know Sandra Ann Taylor from her Energy Oracle cards that I reviewed before. These two actually are, if I remember correctly, are family. And I wanted to review this deck because I love the Energy Oracle so much. I probably have those poor things are bucked and need to probably be replaced. But I wanted to go over this deck because it is interesting. It is somewhat tarot based. There are things that are a little bit different. So I wanted to go over all of that with you because now I don't know if I have put these cards in order, if I mixed them up. I think I've mixed them up actually. So you're going to get a bevy of things. Now the deck book is thick. It is actually thicker than some of the books you probably have seen recently. The books are, look at that, I actually turned to the right picture for that particular thing. Hey! Queen of Scrolls. The picture of the card is in black and white. The meanings are interesting. It does say upright, it does say reverse, and then it tells you about the Akashic Force. So it gives you a guidance on how to use the cards. It gives you even spreads to use, like a pyramid spread, which I think is actually quite awesome on the deck. And then it talks about how how to prepare for a reading, information for a reading, how to read the cards, and tapping into the Akashic forces with the mini processes. So you learn to basically use the cards to bring the force into you, to guide you to what kind of information you're looking for. Stepping into the card itself, looking at where it's at, where you're at, and what it has to tell you. So I'll be honest with you. I saw some of the cards online. I was intrigued by the colors and intrigued by the names of some of the cards. So they have keys, forces for some of their suits. This is the lookout for one of the majors caught in the ruins. So their aspects are a little bit different. Then they have the Six of Scrolls. And then they have roses. Sangha community. And I wanted to, when I was looking at this deck, like the Queen of Scrolls, I was a little bit, I learned that it's a little bit harder for me to be more intuitive with this deck. So I leaned on the book a little bit more, but at the same time too, there are certain things about this deck. I learned that I can actually just see and read right off the cards, information-wise, that like the Energy Oracle deck, just simply pop out at you. Part of it is the name, the keywords. Some of it is just the way that they set up the deck. So what I want to do is, the cards are a little bit big. So those of you with small hands, or me who have medium hands, it can be a little bit stressing to the fingertips to have to stretch it out a little bit more to do so. Which is funny because I'm considered having large hands, but it's weird because I really don't think I do. And the puppy is right next to me sleeping, by the way. Since I moved my thing to a higher location, he has been out of the way and he's been a little bit puffed. So what we're going to do is take a little bit of a reading here. And the reading we're going to do is really simple. Just what do we need to know for the coming week? What's going to be for our best good for this coming week? Simple, easy reading Nothing major to think about. So let's take a look. So we have birth, which is 4. Number 20, will, wisdom, and mind in reverse. And 3 of scrolls in reverse. Way to go. L, all in reverse. How are you feeling today? Well, mightily fine, thank you. Thanks for asking. So basically with this card, it says that you may find challenges or delays with a pregnancy or romance. There may be some difficulties with family members, whether it be a child, whether it be feelings of loneliness, unfulfilled desires for our home or family. Or in my case, it would be that I have family that I'm close to, family I'm not close to, and some of them that I am not close to are by choices of theirs, decisions that they've made, and I'm really going to be whatever about it, and I don't care. It hurts, but sometimes you just have to do what you do. Sometimes this card also symbolizes a difficulty in finding your purpose. Ooh. And I can tell that for some of you, that is a big issue right now. But you also can find keys to your purpose by looking in your past. And that's one of the things about this card. That if you look up close, you see the little kids, they're heading out and looking around. You know, they have somebody who's waiting for them. Looks like their mom. Could be an auntie. And there's a purpose in their step. So there may be clues into what you've done in the past to what you can do, even your past lives, into what you are meant to do in the future. So don't be upset or anything of that nature. Just give yourself time and you'll find it. So there can be some delays, kind of like a retrograde. Of course there is, because retrograde seems to be our lives lately. It's evil. For sometimes retrograde is so awesome because you are so glad it happened when it did. You're like, woo, retrograde in the house. Okay, maybe it's just me, but occasionally retrogrades happen at just the right time that I don't have to worry. However, recently I just went through there's been a retrograde in effect in my life, and I'm like, really, come on, really, come on. So 20, will, wisdom, and mind in reverse. So basically it says that maybe you've noticed that your authority has been diminished. Maybe a loss of position you may have found, or you may feel that you've been taken advantage of. For some of you, it may be the fact that where you thought you were among people, being held higher in esteem, you weren't as much. People have been talking behind your back. You've just found out, and you're not quite sure where you fall in place among these people anymore. And it's only a couple people have done that, but you feel like it's everybody, that it has gone around everyone. You feel like you're spinning your wheels. You're overthinking things about what to do next. You feel like a lot of your activity is repetitive and futile. Ooh, yeah. Honestly, you guys have been... Y'all and I are having like this moment now. We gotta be here. Now, you'll do notice that this coat of arms, which is the Isle of Man, is all about the fact that you will stand even in the hardest of times. It basically shows like a running man. So don't fight all the forces at hand. Get out of your head. Do what you can to reconnect with your higher purpose, your higher guides. Right now, the outer influence can be diminished right now because your crown has been toppled a bit. But your authority and strength has now a foundation to build anew. You can do it. You have power over fire and water. You have the ability to be the strength, the trichetta. You have a firm base to grow up, to be strong and get back to the top. The thing of it is how you had it before was not as a firm foundation as what you do truly have. You need to find your foundation of wisdom, of your mind, of your will, and rebuild from that foundation. And that's what they're trying to tell you. Now, setting up your course. Now, setting your course is that you're not looking as far ahead as you can go. Or perhaps you're not giving yourself the freedom to move forward. Ooh. Alrighty then. Try to break the habit of holding yourself back. There may be miscommunication in some project or friendship, or person misleading you, or not pulling its weight. A small partnership or affiliation can be breaking up entirely. Plans for a trip or a move may be changed or canceled. Now, you see that the captain has a telescope, and the telescope is a little bit bigger than much. It shows a way to more information to a neighboring card. Whether upright or reversed, the card to which the telescope points reveals the supporting influences or obstacles as you chart your course. So, my friends, this card is the Buddha Prepares. So the Buddha Prepares card is actually one of my favorite cards. It's about meditation. It's about patiently waiting. It is also about inner preparation before action. Before you can reach outside yourself, you have to prepare within yourself. You must find your power, your purpose, and your direction. And it may feel like it's waiting. However, your interior life is actually moving in such a fast direction. Your outside has to be still, because inside you are working so hard on your inner processes, your shadow, your self, coming to terms, putting into place in your mind, moving stuff around, trying to figure out how things can be worked and work for you and against you, and figuring out different various forms of plans in case A doesn't work, then shift to B at this point. If B doesn't work, we have C and D, and you're putting all that in place. So you are mentally, emotionally, and in some ways physically, internally moving at such a higher limit that you have to be still on the outside. You have to physically take that break. And when you're truly ready to step forward, you will at that point take your strength that you have built and move forward. And because of that preparation, you will be absolutely in control. So it truly is an interesting card deck. It does give you some really true guidelines to aspects of yourself. And that's one of the things about this deck. It's not necessarily a shadow deck. It's not necessarily a this is more of a purpose deck. Am I going in the right way? Is my life journey doing what I need it to do? Am I working in the manner to which I need to be? That's kind of what this deck is for. It is more for it's not true like the energy oracle, which tells you about the energies around you. This is more of you and your higher self project. So it's a little bit different. I like it. It is actually, I love the back. The back is awesome. And it's something that I can honestly tell you I will use when I do things such as pick a card readings. I use it when I do private readings as a if something comes up that I want clarification regarding a life moment or an internal moment. I will use these cards in conjunction with it. On its own for certain readings, yes, depends on the reading. I give it about an 8 out of 10. So until next time, take care. Hopefully all of you will have had multiple awesome holidays by the time all of this is, you've seen this video, and hopefully the new year will be starting afresh and new and awesome for all of us. Bendithian.